I fixed my attention span as a busy mom without simply forcing myself to be more disciplined. And the first habit really surprised me because it's actually the opposite of what the experts tell you to do. So by the end of this video, you're gonna have all 3 habits that helps me actually focus and be present with my family so that you can too. Because those distracted moments, you can't get those back. A lot of moms think that they're just naturally given to being scattered, but the reality is that we're often letting distraction hijack our attention, and we are not victims of this. We just need to, 1, pray, but then also create better systems that help us be more faithful. Ephesians 5:15 through 16 talks about using our time wisely, and that verse has hit me hard because I've realized at points that I've not used my time well at all. I've let distraction steal my stewardship. Example, I would be trying to make dinner, which should be a very simple and life-giving task, but my phone would buzz with a text. I would glance at it, which would lead to Instagram, which turned into reading random articles. Meanwhile, my kids would come up and ask me questions that I was barely hearing. Dinner might be burning, and by the time my husband got home, I was frazzled and we were eating way too late. I would put my kids to bed feeling guilty that I hadn't been fully present. I would sit with my husband and feel distant instead of connected with him. And honestly, I felt like I was failing at the very calling that I loved the most, being a wife and mother. I knew something had to change. I was letting distractions rob me of the beautiful, ordinary moments that I was supposed to be stewarding. But here's what changed everything for me. I stopped trying to just be more disciplined, and I started building simple systems that protected my attention and helped me be more faithful in these areas. So instead of fighting my brain, I worked with it. Instead of relying on willpower, I created environments that made focus easier. That's when I discovered the 3 habits that completely rebuilt my focus. And here's what surprised me. They're actually very simple. The first habit was switching to paper for 95% of my planning and tracking. I still use Google Calendar for appointments, but I moved my daily rhythms, tasks, and priorities to a simple notebook system. I know it sounds old-fashioned, but hear me out. Every time I opened my phone to check my digital planner app or add something to a to-do list, I was creating what I like to call a temptation gateway. I would open the phone for one thing, but then I would see a notification or remember that I wanted to check something else, and suddenly I was down the inevitable rabbit hole that I know that all of us are very aware of. So when I moved to a simple notebook system for my daily rhythms and tasks, everything changed. I could write down what I needed to do, check things off, and plan my day without distractions pulling me away. Writing by hand also helps your brain actually remember things better than typing does. So here's how it works. It's really simple. I use one notebook that stays in my kitchen or in my purse if I'm going out, and every evening I write out my priorities for the next day. I will quickly check my home management binder, which is separate, for any weekly routine items that I need to pull out, and then I will pull from my rolling monthly to-do list for other priorities. I generally write down 2 to 3 main priorities with an asterisk, and then fewer than that during intense seasons like postpartum or whatever. Plus a couple bonus tasks if I want, but without any pressure to complete those. When I need to reference my plan or add something during the day, I simply go to my notebook instead of my phone, and this one change eliminated probably 80% of my mindless phone pickups. The personal win here was huge. I started actually completing tasks without getting sidetracked. I could start folding laundry and finish folding laundry without ending up on Instagram halfway through. I could plan dinner without somehow reading random articles about why flamingos stand on one leg. If you know, you know. The second habit was putting my phone on Do Not Disturb and physically removing it from sight during family time. This was honestly the game changer for stewarding time with my children well. I realized that even seeing my phone, even when I wasn't using it, was pulling my attention away. Part of my brain was always waiting for the next notification or wondering if I needed to check something. So I started putting my phone in a drawer during our time together, whether we're doing homeschool or other random activities at other points during the day, during family time. At first, I did feel a little anxious about missing something important, but here's what I discovered. Very few things actually require immediate attention, and the things that do have a way of reaching you anyway. My husband can still reach me if needed, and I have do not disturb set up to where if somebody calls twice, it will go through in true emergencies, but everything else can wait. And honestly, protecting this time with my children is worth far more than any text or email that might come through. I also took this a step further by simplifying my phone itself. I removed apps, browser, social media, and any notifications that created unnecessary pull throughout the day. It's not one of my main 3 habits, but it was really helpful for reducing that constant mental tug. If you want to learn exactly how I did this, I created a whole video tutorial walking you through how to set up your phone if you've got an Android to support your focus instead of fighting against it, and I'll link that down below. But anyway, the transformation in my ability to be present with my children was incredible. Instead of half listening while part of my mind wondered about text or emails, I could fully engage with whatever we were doing. I started noticing little things like the way my daughter concentrates when she's reading a book, or the questions my son would ask, or the way he would light up whenever he felt heard. Just very simply, the natural rhythms of how they play and learn. This habit also completely changed my evenings with my husband. Instead of both of us sitting there scrolling while sitting next to each other, we actually talk and enjoy each other. We will plan things together. We'll share about our day. We connect in ways that are truly impossible when you're sitting there with a device in your hand. So these changes were all very powerful, but in and of themselves, they were not enough to make it permanent. I needed a 3rd habit to make it all stick. And this 3rd habit was creating and actually sticking to some blocked daily rhythms that include the things that I know I need to focus on throughout the day, but it also includes little set times for technology, anything technology related. So for me, this generally looks like checking my phone and responding to any messages in the afternoon once the kids are in rest time, and then again in the evening after they're in bed. Proverbs 21:5 says that the plans of the diligent lead to abundance. And so having a plan to stick to without distraction is exactly what I needed to help me be diligent. So again, to help with this, I created those specific windows in my day where I would check messages, respond to emails, or whatever I needed to do. Occasionally, I'd pick it up and respond to something, but otherwise, I try to reserve most of my responses for those 2 times. Having these general boundaries just really helps my brain know that there will be time to respond so that I don't need to feel anxious about responding to every little ping. There's going to be a time for that later. So this system really takes away the constant pull of just wondering if I need to check something. Instead, I can move through my day more calmly and focus on what's right in front of me. By God's grace, when I committed to all 3 habits together, the transformation was remarkable. My screen time dropped dramatically without me overly trying to reduce it. The constant pull of the scroll just isn't there anymore because I've trained my brain over time to be present and to focus. Therefore, I'm less reactive with my kids because I'm more present with them. I'm also more consistent with taking care of my body because I'm not getting derailed as much by distraction. My quiet time with the Lord is deeper, and even simple tasks like cooking dinner or cleaning feels more peaceful because I can just focus on one thing at a time. Most importantly, I feel like I'm actually present and faithful in the calling that God's given me instead of letting precious moments slip by while I'm mentally somewhere else. Again, this is all by God's grace. I'm not saying I'm this great person. I'm just wanting to show you the fruit of being really intentional with these little habits, being intentional with God's help. But I want to be honest, knowing these habits and actually implementing them are 2 totally different things. That's why I created something to help you. I created a free masterclass that will help you build rhythms like this to help you know what to focus on and to help you manage your home. You can grab that down below. But for now, here's what I want to encourage you to do. Just pick 1 habit to start with this week. All 3 of these habits work because they help you focus on your call to steward the life that God's given you well. So pick one and then you can try the others as you go. Psalm 90:12 asks God to teach us to number our days so that we can get a heart of wisdom. When I read that verse now, I think about how many days I wasted being distracted and missing the beautiful, ordinary moments right in front of me. And sometimes I still can do that. But here's the good news. no one is stuck there. You can start changing this today. If you feel convicted about how you've wasted time, the beauty of the gospel is that we can repent, we can receive God's forgiveness, and by His grace, create strategies to help you be a better steward of your time. If you're constantly reaching for your phone during family time, start there. Just put it in another room during your midday hours with your children. If you find yourself getting pulled into digital rabbit holes while you're trying to plan your day, grab a simple notebook and try paper planning for a week. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just again, pick one small boundary that can help protect your attention during the time that matters most to you, or that's the biggest pain point. I want you to know that struggling with focus does not mean you're permanently broken. Maybe you do struggle with discipline. Most of us do at points. But the reality is we are all aiming to steward our home and families in a world that is designed to fracture our attention. So when you very intentionally, you create boundaries that protect your attention, you can actually be present for the life that God has given you. The vision that I have for you is a home where you are actually present for the conversations that are happening at your dinner table, a family rhythm where your children feel heard and seen because you're mentally there with them, evenings with your husband where you connect instead of scroll, daily tasks that feel peaceful instead of overwhelming because you can focus on one thing at a time. This isn't about becoming some perfect homemaker who never ever gets distracted. I'm not there. I still get distracted sometimes. It happens to all of us. But it is about protecting your ability to, generally speaking, be there for the moments that matter. Your children's bedtime stories, conversations with your husband, the quiet morning hours when you spend time abiding in Christ. It's just good and important to build habits to help you do those things. If you want help figuring out what your real priorities are and turning them into simple rhythms that actually work, my free masterclass walks you through that step by step. You can grab that down below. And if you want to see exactly how I set up my notebook system for paper planning, if you are inspired to try to do that, I created a whole video walking through my simple method step by step. You can also find that linked below as well. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'll see you in the next one.